Day 3, where we're going to meet several ghosts. Although I'm not sure Draugen are ghosts. I wouldn't call them ghosts. But who's to say there can't be both? Alright. I seem to have some of my frames back. Everything's fine. How am I feeling? How am I looking? I seem to be okay. I wonder why that's there. I am convinced that I'm going to slowly turn into a dragon or something, and I'll see it slowly if I look through the mirror. I don't know. Hello?
Alice!
Right up the stairs, Teddy. Teddy? Is that you?
Uh-huh. Wait a minute. Oh. Surely there is an achievement for drawing... Oh god, I'm drawing the kid's crib. Oh god. Music in this game is very pretty. Alright, where is our little friend? She's not in here, is she?
This is her room. Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then... nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever.
I just realized...
Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic.
Um...
I'll help you look.
So I realized that I assumed that crib was Ruth's, and it... I don't want to say it obviously isn't, but it obviously isn't any longer. Maybe it was Ruth's before she grew large enough to get her own room, or what. I don't know. Or maybe they were expecting another child. Who knows?
Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8.
Okay, she's 8.
This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
Okay. Don't look so much into a kid's drawing like that, but whatever. Here you go. You have treasure. Draugen Lake treasure, if they're anything like the Draugr in Elder Scrolls. There's always treasure down there with them.
She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
something important enough to draw.
I mean, that's a chalice, guy, and that's a necklace, and that's probably gold. She found treasure.
That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear.
Okay. How could they poke holes in this lovely wallpaper? Alright.
Draugen.
Hey, the undead monster from those folk tales you read.
There you go.
Odd book for a child to have.
I don't know. Children love scary stories. This looks interesting. Read some of it to me?
I'd be delighted. Oh, I'll have a seat as well.
In Norwegian folklore, the appearance of Draugen, the reanimated corpse of a drowned mariner, heralds death. Draugen haunts the black seas in a shattered boat. The beast has a man's body and wears a sou'wester, but instead of a head, there is tangled seaweed, and the revenant's chilling cry freezes mortal blood to ice. Draugen has the power to enter the dreams of the living.
Oh.
If you wake from such a dream, you have been spared, though someone close to you... That's enough of that. It's nonsense, of course. Not something a child should be reading.
Do you think Draugen took our boat? Maybe he's out there, on the fjord, waiting for nightfall so he can return to shore.
No.
Your soul lacks poetry, Edward Charles Harden. I pity you.
So, I was half right. They are undead creatures, but they are undead fallen mariners. So, they're sea creatures, and they have seaweeds for heads, and they enter your dreams, apparently, and if you survive a dream, then someone close to you may have been taken instead. Is that what happened to Betty? Because we did have a dream, remember? We had a dream, Alice. So, I don't know.
Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy. It looks a bit like the Draugen in her book.
Mm-hmm.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew...
That's the treasure chest.
It looks like this box under her desk.
It does.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out.
Oh my god. Well,
What is this?
there's the pin.
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. Well, they belong in a museum.
I've heard
like
that
Ruth had her
before.
own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
Mm-hmm.
This is where it came from, her collection.
Mm-hmm.
But where did she find these treasures?
If we're to believe her drawing, perhaps the mine. She may have found a gravesite. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
But then they would take the treasure. That your hypothesis is silly, girl. So,
There's a story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
Well, she didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic events.
This is what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
The church bell. Someone's here. Maybe... Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble. I need to get to the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We should be careful.
I told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think about all of this.
absolutely not real. She is not real.
Do you see anyone?
They must be inside the church.
All right, I don't know the way to the church, but we're gonna find it. So I find it interesting that she found the treasure in the cave, but the Draugen are sea creatures. That's loud. Which way do I go? So the Draugen are sea creatures, unless the cave is attached to the sea. I don't know. Also, I find interesting that she found the treasure in the cave, and the cave is a mine. With like literal miners in there digging around. How come they didn't find the treasure and the girl did? So I'm guessing this is the road that leads to the church. I originally thought it was the mine, but it's not. It's still ringing. Watch it be like a crow just tapping it. Uh-oh, it stopped. Oh, nope, nope, there it goes. And again. And again.
July 24th. Memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that.
All these fresh graves. Do you think that maybe
No.
Betty...
I'd know.
But...
You wouldn't understand. Elizabeth and I, we have a bond.
God, Edward. Your obsession with her is really starting to grate.
What do you mean? She's my missing sister. We're here to look for her. What do you mean obsession? If they were close, any sibling would do this. I don't like her. I don't like her at all. She's not real. She's here. She's a manifestation of the Draugen to discourage me from investigating.
Why board up a church?
To keep the ghosts from escaping?
Regardless of how they got past the boards, there's someone in there.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
It says God something her. God forbade her? God killed her?
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Oh.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Can you peek through the boards? See anyone?
No,
Listen. The bell. They're still in there.
Yeah, I know that. What is this side area? What do people do there? No, really, what is this side area? Why is it necessary?
Hello? I heard the bell.
Oh, this is giving me
I'm
the
here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Hell yeah. Do it, Edward! Wait a minute, how are they attached to the door frame?
Look at that. The Ethel becomes an Edward. I didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet.
I don't trust you.
Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister, Elizabeth.
Stop shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here.
There are no ghosts.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so let's unpack this. This is the bell rope, I would assume, which just dangles down in the middle of the church. So anybody can grab it willy-nilly, but we saw that there was nobody grabbing it while it was ringing. Also, it's not centered.
What's this rope for?
The bell.
This is the bell we heard ringing?
I don't see any other bells.
So you have to stand here and pull this rope to ring it.
Yep.
Yes.
But there was no one here.
Nope.
You didn't see anyone, right?
Nope.
No. No one.
Ghosts. I'm telling you, it's ghosts. So what happened to the Hunchback of Grovik?
They must be here still. There's only the one exit.
Maybe it was the wind.
A church bell's too heavy. It can't have been the wind. I mean... I don't know. Maybe it was the wind. There's no one here.
Alright, we know it works.
I don't like that sound. Please stop.
Oh! Does this annoy you?
Stop it. Stop it.
That bell still bothers me.
Didn't you say it was the wind?
I guess it could have been the wind.
Once you eliminate the impossible, etc.
Lissy, look. Betty's gloves.
Oh no! There's
They are
pieces of her
definitely
everywhere.
Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
Pete's
these
sake.
in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day she... She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make sense.
Breadcrumbs. She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves. Her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a labyrinth.
Betty will have left more crumbs.
Betty. You're turning into such a pill.
A pill? Really?
What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here. Their faith was challenged, and it didn't survive.
Well, I mean, if kids died, that's going to happen. I can't interact with that, but this I can read. What does that say?
The church book, a record of births and deaths.
Oh boy.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead...
Her name would be in the book.
All right. Oh, one entry. Lovely.
tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look.
Okay. No, don't touch. It's for me. So why would
How
they
many pages are missing?
tear them out and
I
throw them on the
counted
ground?
4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me.
No, that's mine. I'm the one who picked it up.
I wanted you to find that one.
Screw
I know what a
you.
rotten loser you are.
You're a
What are
child.
you doing? We're in a church.
Thought you didn't believe in God.
I do believe in civility.
Oh, this is different.
What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
All right. Let's start with forgiveness.
Tilly Verandre.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly. But I wonder if they were even here.
Well, they were twin brothers. They must have been close once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us.
So, they think that Simon killing Ruth was an act of a divided house? I have a hard time believing that.
It sounds like Grovik was split in two. Between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune.
So they think they were cursed. Was the mine a result of the curse, or was the mine the beginning of the curse?
Found another one. You get it. It's right here.
You've been sitting there for ages. That's a candle. There we go.
Just one more page missing.
You keep looking. I want to read this book.
They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it.
Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic. I've never seen you read the Bible before.
I've read the Bible many times. It's an important historical document. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Olden English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes.
All right. So we're focused on division here. Also, there's one more document somewhere. Or is there? Did I get them all? I thought I only got 3. I got 1, 2, and 3. Where's the 4th?
Stop it.
Yep, that's right. Is the 4th? Did I walk by it out here or something? Is it outside?
Where are you going?
No?
Where are you going?
Oh!
The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you.
Okay, so where is the final document? Do I clean up this
They
mess?
considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it.
Am I
This
blind?
was an act of desperation and anger.
We need to find all the pages.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
The missing pages must be here somewhere.
Am I blind? There's 1 page left.
Isn't this a fire hazard?
They're not always lit. Each candle represents a single prayer.
That's a lot of prayers.
There were a lot of deaths.
I feel like it's under that, but I can't move that. So it's got to be here somewhere, and I just don't see it. Why is the door off? I'm not blind. It's not there. It's literally not there. Is it like, do I turn the page here? No. I clicked on the painting. Where is the last page?
We need to find all the pages.
Girl, help me. I feel like
Where are you going?
I don't know. I really don't know where the last page is. Jesus Christ, it's right there.
2 for 2. A tie. Good job, Teddy. Old
Stop,
bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Betty's out there.
Of horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Betty, Betty, Betty. Will you ever shut up about your precious Betty?
I don't
Put
know.
those pages back in the book, and I'll stop trying to cheer you up.
She's awfully insensitive about Betty. I mean, he was close to his sister and she's missing. I don't understand why she's so insensitive to that. Doesn't make any sense to me. Okay.
This book goes back years.
And they're all labored. Is that?
Lists births and deaths.
That says traitor, right?
Here's the third Fretland brother. The one who died in the cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse.
Oh, cursed.
That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
I mean, it's a town of like 30 people. How many births do you expect there to be? At some point, it's all incest. Okay then.
Look here. Ruth Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died.
Oh.
Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, a half-dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom.
Traitor.
It says Anut Lokeberg and Harold Lindvald are listed as traitors.
Edward? What's wrong?
The final entry. There's no name.
What does that say?
Alice. What if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty.
It doesn't mean she's...
She's not dead. She can't be. I know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me!
You've left me many times, girl.
Edward!
I'm only out here.
Better not be here, Betty. I'll never forgive you.
Okay, so I would just like to point out either they did a very poor job on I don't want to say pathfinding, but on the interactions with this character suddenly appearing in different places and making ground, covering ground that she couldn't possibly cover. So either they did a poor job or she's not real. I'm going with the not real part.
This one. It's...
I don't think this will be Betty.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward, stop it!
Yeah, I don't think we'll find her down here, guy.
Thank God. It's
Although-
not her. It's not Betty. It's not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
It's not Elizabeth. I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister like
Or
that.
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us?
What do you mean
You
us?
spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just... leave me be.
Fine.
Knew it! Called it!
Lizzie? Alice? Come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back. I need you.
So, if she's not real, couple things. If she's not real, is Elizabeth real? Wait a minute. So Elizabeth, oh God. So Elizabeth can be shortened to Betty, right? Alice, we shortened to Lizzie. Or Lissy, with S's, not Z's. However, Lizzie is also shortened for Elizabeth. Liz, or Lizzie. Is Alice Elizabeth, our sister? Maybe she died, and we went crazy or whatever, and now we have this hallucination of our sister. Obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously. I don't know. I think that's a possibility. All right, second thing is, we found a head. Supposedly there's a body attached to this head, and it looks like real intact. If this was buried, even not long ago, wouldn't there be decay? Like, I mean, it would be pushing up daisies, right? There'd be all sorts of bugs and worms consuming it, I would think, right? Or no? Anyways, Lissy is not real, which I suspected all along. I am no longer allowed to ring the bell. I can no longer interact with these books. So I'd say it's a good chance she is our sister. Guessing going back down then.
Lizzie? Where are you? I was afraid you'd left me. Now listen to me. No!
Okay.
Lizzie.
You're going crazy,
Hey.
buddy.
Lizzie, please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Do you notice?
Of course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish she was!
Don't.
Okay, how about this theory then?
You deserve to be alone.
So maybe she, Alice, was a twin sister of Betty, Elizabeth. Notice how everybody in this game has like multiple names. So Alice and Elizabeth were twin sisters. He probably lost one a long time ago, and then lost the other recently. And he's so obsessed with finding Elizabeth because he lost Alice so long ago. And that's his last sister.
Please, talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
Notice when I go to select
think you own
something,
me?
it changes.
That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day. That I'm your puppet, your little plaything.
I mean, you are my hallucination.
Fuck you, Edward Charles Harden!
Whoa!
I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase!
Now, be reasonable. Lizzie? Alice? No! No, no, no! What are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate us.
Now listen to me. Please, listen. Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me. I need you.
It won't let me select.
I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no. What? No!
Oof.
Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please don't.
You make me sick, Edward.
Okay.
Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you.
What?
We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No, Never. I never forget.
What?
I am never alone.
Den Tag jemals